Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Joe, the commentator from GWA from back in the day. I have to say it's good to be here, live in living color and back on the air. But, I got some personal agendas, you can say. Watching wrestling since GWA departed in 2003, which is a while ago now. The competition still kept going, didn't wait for GWA to come back. If ever GWA is going to come back, we'll see. But I got on the podcast, on the air, you can say, to air my dirty laundry when it comes to backyard wrestling and wrestling in general, and give my take as to why I feel the ratings are going downhill, you could say, down the toilet. And I think for a lot of reasons, but one in particular is that there isn't that mega star anymore. Whether it's professional wrestling, backyard wrestling, there isn't anybody that gravitates your attention anymore, Back in the day in GWA, you have the lights of Vinnie Mac, Sin, Griff the Reaper, Jackal, just to name a few. And those guys, forget about it. The ratings were below the roof off the joint. And since the departure of GWA, back in the day, wrestling has just been down the hill. Oh, I forgot my buddy Vulture. That's right. Let me not forget about him. He was one of the biggest reasons, I would say, we had a lot of ratings, in GWA. But in that cruiserweight division, wow, that was just spectacular. And, of course, the tag team division with Vinnie Mac, that was an awesome dual combination, GWA tag team. And they were the tag team champs for a bit, for a while, you could say. So hats off to them. Congratulations, on that memorable day, back in the day. But getting back to the point, though, I just wanted to illustrate and make my point. Wrestling has taken a big hit. And it's not being respected anymore. You can Google it now and YouTube it or whatever you want to do. And ratings are not good at all. They're just horrible. It's just not good. And, since the departure of GWA, because I must say, not that I'm just throwing this out the air, but when we were on M&M, we had about 3 million folks a night. Wow. Ratings that I'm sure a lot of backyard wrestlers and even the professional ones, I would say, would want those kind of ratings right now. That would actually pay a lot of bills, you know what I mean? But we got those, and and then some. But anyway, just to make a point, there's other federations now that you see after the pandemic, and they're still doing their thing. And I gotta say, nothing personal, but this is just business. But horrible wrestling. And I'm just gotta honestly illustrate my point to you. So I just concocted some clips that I put together, and I thought maybe I share it with you. So without further ado, I want you to see some of these clips.
You're challenging me to a match? What about barbed wire? You didn't think about that, stupid bitch. It's time takes a kick to the stomach, and another one. Looks like that was just fresh for me. Like bowling ball. It was all over for a second. Oh my no! What's chain going for? Oh, it's chain breaker! Oh my.
Was my point illustrated or what? That is just horrible wrestling. I'm sorry. I just gotta call it like I see it, you know? And that's one of the reasons why, if this continues at a rapid pace that it's going right now, with the lack of transparency in wrestling as you know it, this could actually put wrestling, any kind of wrestling, out of business. And for a guy like myself that got into this business, loved wrestling since I was a little boy from many years ago, I mean, it pains me to see it go where it's going right now. It's just not good. I just gotta tell the truth. I mean, this is what we're watching today. This is the kind of entertainment that's supposed to entertain you and your family members, or your loved ones, or your friends, or your constituents. I mean, this is just, I have no words right now. I mean, it's repulsive. It's this stuff cannot air. I'm sorry, air with caution. I mean, this is just not good for wrestling, you know. And you know, I've had a lot of people come up to me, you know, throughout the years and ask, you know, when is GWA going to come back? I don't really have that information, to be honest with you, but you know, never say never, you know. But I have to admit, I mean, back then, the past versus now, the present, I mean, it's not even close. It's not even, it's like night and day, you know. It's just sad. I mean, GWA was just amazing federation, you know, with everything that you could even imagine and more, you know, and nothing came close to it back in its heyday. But you know, it's sad to see where wrestling is going right now. You know, if this continues in the next 10 to 15 years, that's it. You can kiss wrestling goodbye forever. You can say, unless someone can resurrect it like GWA. I'm just throwing it out there. But anyway, you know, it's just sad. And I just had to voice my displeasure and give you my 2 cents on what's going on in wrestling today. And it's deplorable. Of course, everyone now is turned off by it. Since the GWA days of GWA, you know, people stopped watching wrestling. And that's the truth. If you go back to the times back in the early 2000s, all the way to like 2005 or so, people stopped watching. They didn't want to watch anymore. And it just dwindled and dwindled and dwindled in the ratings, you know. And that's because, again, there hasn't been that megastar like a Vinnie Mac, like a Sin, like a Vulture, like a Jackal, you know, a Grifter, a Reaper, you know, a Dramacidal, just to name a few, you know. There hasn't been that, you know. It's been going down the hill. Wrestling has just been, you know, tankling, and you don't have to take my word for it. Look it up. You know, do your research. You know, from that time that I mentioned in the early 2000s all the way till now, it's just been tackling. So I just wanted to give you my 10 cents on it. I hope that you guys enjoyed that mini podcast, and all I gotta say is the best is yet to come. And this has been Joe from GWA, and I just want to say take care.